You're going to freeze like that?
Hello, darling. It's
Hello.
been a long time since you left me.
Singing is coming from.
Someone told us yesterday that the face you make right before you push live is the face that captions the video. So if you haven't looked back, if you scroll back through these jokers, we've got some faces.
Which might be true, but it seems untrue. It seems like it's pulling a weird one from the middle, but hopefully...
Unshun. You know what I'm talking about.
Hopefully
not.
It's
Sandra's
not,
here.
And we won't have to make any more weird faces anymore.
Ever again. I will never make a weird face again. I was inside earlier making this, what I think is the strongest pot of coffee I've ever made in my life.
It's delicious.
And I got a fun glass. You know, it looks got hummingbirds on the inside. I was like, this will be festive. Let's gloss everything up a little bit, add a little flair.
He doesn't know what it's for.
So far, my son said, "Wow, Dad, that's the girliest glass I've ever seen." And then someone I'm sitting next to told me it was a wine glass. Why in heaven's name do we have a wine glass to begin with?
From my students.
But also,
sometimes people
in our
think that
coffee
teachers
pot
need wine.
section, there's not wine in here. If I could show it to you, it's dark.
It was a student gift. I have used it once to bring coffee in the car, like in a situation where there were no clean dishes in the house except the wine one. And I took it to school and people made fun of me, and it spilled. So,
and it spilled.
In case you're wondering, it will spill.
It'll spill. I don't have the top on or anything. Not
well,
my
even
top.
With the lid.
You know what's up.
Even with the lid, it spilled coffee in the car.
Look at the hummingbird, though. It's adorbs.
It's a beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh, man, I left a prayer list inside. Can we go get it? Is that weird? We can remember them all.
I think we can remember it, but if you feel like you need it.
We can remember everybody. If we forget somebody.
If we forget you, it's because the list is inside.
I have a list. I'm going to go to in a little bit. Everyone had a wonderful Tuesday. I had to think about that one for a second. We asked our kids at dinner, how long does it feel like you've been in stay at home? And they said 12 years.
Well, first Luke said, has coronavirus been a thing for a month? And we said yes. He said, has it been a thing for a year? I said no. And he said, how long have we been home? And I said, how long does it feel? And then he said 12 years.
12 years.
He's 8. So if that tells you anything.
It's been a long time.
It's been terrible. It's been a long
Thanks for watching yesterday and for checking in today.
You've been with us.
It's been fun. We've had a decent one there. 387.
That's right.
8.
But who's counting?
You have your pencil.
I'm just throwing pencils. I can't get it. I'll spill coffee on my Bible, and that would be a shame. It really would.
Throwing pencils on the ground.
So, Danny, what shirt do I have on today? It's a Morgan County Bulldog
It's a hashtag Moco shirt. Why are you wearing that shirt, Chante? That's interesting.
You are looking at the newest math teacher at Morgan County High School.
Not me.
For next year.
She
not
is.
Right now.
The newest math teacher at the high school. Which high school?
Morgan County. Super excited.
Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia.
That's where we live. I'll be John Brown.
I got a job in Arkansas.
Chante,
really.
That would be awkward.
I don't know if there is a Morgan County, Arkansas.
Online learning right there. That's awesome, baby. Congratulations.
I know you already know, but I'm pretty excited, and I wore a Morgan County shirt just for tonight.
On purpose?
On purpose. I'm very excited.
Because that's how we are,
Melissa. If your student is going to be in 9th grade math, or potentially 10th grade.
Or potentially 10th grade.
I might be their teacher next year. Look out, 9th and 10th graders of Morgan County.
So good. Man, it'll be good. You're a great teacher.
He says that, but he's actually never seen me teach.
I've never been in that classroom. Never have. Not once in my life.
Danny did used to drop by Eastside High School back in the day.
They did. Some of those kids.
He was a frequent visitor, but not while I was teaching.
While she was teaching. I'd just come by.
Out.
I'd bring lunch by.
He would bring lunch. El Charo. He used to pick up El Charo.
Said that for you guys. Are you teaching on tithing?
10%.
10% right there, baby. You know what's up. Yay, congrats. So, Rita, did you tell your family about this?
I did.
That'd be awkward.
We have a family Facebook page.
I'm not invited. I'm not even on that page.
About it.
They do. Does anybody else have that? They have a whole family. They have family text, family Facebook. It's not for the out of bloodline.
You're
just for
the
in blood.
He's on there. Everybody, don't believe him. He says he's not.
Just drinking out of a wine glass.
It's coffee, really.
Good grief.
It's coffee. He's drinking coffee.
Did you do quotes?
I did.
It's adorable.
You're on the family. You're on the family Facebook.
I am on the family Facebook.
You will know if you're on it or not.
You'll know.
It's a lot of communication.
The face. There it is. Chante, I'm really proud
I would love to have Jackson.
Yes.
That's excited.
We do for my extended. I'm glad, Susie. Got this coffee. Hannah. That's what's up right there.
Air quote coffee.
Air quote coffee. Let's see. As other folks were jumping, Ken said, "Why isn't he on there on her shirt?" What are we talking about?
I don't know. Oh, why isn't he on the Facebook? He is. He is.
Ken, I'm asking the same thing.
I don't know if he's. I think there is a.
RG's even on the family page. He's the patriarch. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Y'all are great.
There is a text message group that
they
you're
have a
not
cousin
part
page.
of. It's called Family.
Good grief, Billy. Billy's anybody from Mississippi on your cousin page? Because
we have a cousin page too. We have Hearst Family. It's called Hearst Family.
there's only 913,000 of them.
It's national.
Any of my Pentecostals watch right now? Some of her family watches, and they're Pentecostal. This is what I found in the Pentecostal world. If I name drop anyone Chante's related to, they're automatically going to like me more most of the time. Because...
Always. We never...
That's what's up. Paige, not Pahe. I like Pahe. It's cool. Howdy. Hey, cuz. Hope New York State's doing okay today. Hope the grocery store business is being more kind.
Calmer.
Being more kind to one another, because we've been praying. The family Facebook page. So we have a church Facebook page.
Like
that's what we're on right now.
Probably have a Facebook
Our church
page.
is a family.
Our church is a family. Our kids are ringing our doorbell.
So you're the kids, the Jehovah's Witnesses.
I did hear a car door.
I hear a car door too.
Someone might be here. I don't think so.
You want to get Jack?
You just want to go get your sticky note.
I want to get my sticky note, but Shawnee don't want me to get up. You guys make my day.
They
well, I declare, you make my day too, Hannah Lloyd.
Why don't I leave you by yourself and I'll go get the sticky note?
Let's unpack this.
Ask
the real questions now.
Only because they're actually ringing the doorbell a lot, and I'm worried that
somebody's ringing the doorbell.
Like, there's a stranger.
They were jumping over each other off the front porch the last time I saw. And y'all ever play that game when your kids? Like they jumped over each other, and then you naturally got to see how much farther you can jump over. So they pushed the envelope. So someone might have gotten jumped on just now. Mississippi cousins, Billy. I love it. I was going to say extended family, super extended family text groups. Yeah, Rihanna, you know, it's our people. It's how we roll. We've had a pretty good day, so far. I've only had one kid get stuck in a tree. It's not the law. Oh, mercy. They have to. It's now the law. Good grief. We have folks making masks. We delivered some to the nursing home yesterday. Hannah Callan's hooking them up with some more. Face masks. Did you get the sticky note?
I got the sticky note.
Things are looking up. But, man, wear those face masks, y'all. Also, just another fun thing. Our church, because if you didn't know, we have, I think, just the largest Facebook page, the largest nursing home in a town is Madison Health and Rehab. So I want to give a shout out to Lim Durden in the Madison Chick-fil-A. Lim and Trin go to church with us as well. We're going to be taking some lunches over to the workers because they have been shut off. Now the workers can go in and out, but nobody else can. So thanks Lim and Chick-fil-A for hooking us up with that. We're going to be taking those lunches over tomorrow at noon. They're still in need of some masks, but we'd encourage you to continue to check on some of those things. A couple of quick updates, and then we'll jump into Philippians chapter 1, grab a Bible, or something that can open a Bible on it, like an iPad, if anybody uses those, or a cell phone, or an actual Bible, paper one, whatever works for you. A couple of quick updates, though. These are some really good news up front. Jeff Meisel's mom, Miss Catherine, is going home tomorrow. Praise the Lord. She's going home tomorrow. So if you know Jeff Meisel, anybody in his family, y'all shoot him a text or Facebook message him in a little bit. Great news. Mom's going home. Michael Malcolm, I talked to him today. He said the hardest thing is just feeling pretty lonely because his wife is going to stay with her parents. But he's also cutting the grass, So, he said he feels fine. The highest his temperature got was like 99.5 or something, so nothing crazy. And he's on day 14 of his own personal quarantine from the symptoms, I think. So anyway, be praying for Michael. He said he's feeling good.
That's great news.
Yvonne's cousin, Robert, went home this last weekend. He was the pastor up at Danielsville Baptist Church. He is home, and as far as I know, as far as Yvonne has said, is doing well. Jen Zappa's grandmother.
We updated yesterday. She is responding well to the medicine combination, and that's the last update I've received. So good news.
Continue to pray for Jen Zappa's grandmother. A couple of big prayer requests, y'all, and I will try to remember to do this again at the end. Brian and Melinda Key. If you don't know him, beautiful family. He's in the paving and grading business.
They have little
Walker, good-looking kid, little blonde boy. And Melinda and Brian just had their child, Owen, their second son, I think late Saturday night.
I think Saturday night.
Healthy baby, 7 pounds, 4 ounces maybe. Great color, like he's looking good. However, he is scheduled to, and they knew this going in. They met with plenty of doctors
20 weeks.
For 20 weeks. Natalie and Blake, man, have been keeping in touch with him a lot and getting a lot of updates. We've been trying to do the same. But little Owen, that's only since Saturday, days old, is scheduled for open heart surgery this coming Thursday. Thursday. So, if you would, it was originally scheduled for today, but they rescheduled it for Thursday morning at 7:30. So I'm asking everybody that's watching this, wherever you are, at 7:30 on Thursday morning, let's all lift up baby Owen together in prayer. Naturally, Lake Point style, I would love to fill up the waiting room and just overwhelm them with love. But the doctors are asking us naturally not to do that. They won't let you in. You can try. They're not going to do it.
They won't even let you. Yeah.
But if you have Brian and Melinda's contact, Facebook message them if you want their number. And reach out to me. I'll be happy to share that with you. But most importantly, ask Brian today. He said, man, just please lift him up. They have an amazing story. And I told Brian we're looking forward to our first worship service together with Owen one day in the future. It's going to be so good.
Natalie and I spoke this morning about it. She had touched base with Melinda, and she said that this surgery typically has very good outcomes, so they have every reason to think that it will go very smoothly.
Absolutely.
But when your baby's less than a week old and
That's
has
scary
any
stuff.
surgery, I feel like that's
and we're praising the Lord with them.
Stressful, but we know that it's going to be a good
Brian and I talked the other day, and he said the same thing again today. And let's all thank the Lord for that. He said, man, we've got the smartest, and I fully agree with this, some of the smartest medical doctors in the world, especially when it comes to kids, about an hour east of here, or west of here. East of here is Augusta, which is great
Children's
too.
Healthcare is
Children's
the
Healthcare.
best.
So be praying for
The best
them.
place.
And then also, Frank and Shirley Hall's son, Jonathan, great man. Him and his wife, Katie, they have the 2 beautiful little girls. Jonathan has actually been struggling with diverticulitis for a little while and is actually scheduled to also have surgery. Oh, mercy. I didn't write it down on this piece of paper.
Also Thursday.
It's also Thursday, I think at noon. If Frank or Shirley's on here, somebody else, I'll get that update to you. But Jonathan Hall, again, y'all, he can't have any visitors in the hospital. He says it's pretty quiet up there. But be praying for Jonathan Thursday as well. He's scheduled to, hopefully, they said they're just going to go and keep him, go and knock this thing out so they won't have to risk him having to come back. But just a couple of prayer updates as we jump into this. You good?
I'm good.
Glory. Let's jump into Philippians chapter 1. If you haven't read it, you can open up. It's a short book, short chapter. There's 4 chapters. We're going to do 1 tonight, 2 tomorrow, 3 Thursday, and 4 on Friday.
I will say 1 chapter a day is a little more
doable than 3 chapters of the Gospel of John.
Was a lot.
We're aggressive. Thursday at
also
noon is Jonathan's schedule. Thursday at noon. But 3 chapters was quite a bit. So tonight we're in Philippians chapter 1.
Felt like a breeze.
Y'all, if you don't know much about Paul, he's the guy that wrote this book. He wrote it to the Philippians who lived in a city called Philippi. Hence the name of the book, Philippians. If you didn't know, I think most of us, maybe you know if you didn't, the books of the Bible, especially these little books like this, Philippians, Colossians, Ephesians, Galatians, these books were written by Paul to specific churches. So it was like getting a letter in the mail. They would open them up and then read them to the congregation. A lot of times he says in the letter, hey, share this with the congregation. Share this with my brothers and sisters. And Paul gets pretty specific about a lot of things. This book is a great one to read through if you're ever having a tough week. You're just like, I need some encouragement. I need to be lifted up a little bit. Read through the book of Philippians. I've underlined just a couple of things in here that I'm going to highlight. Chante's probably done the same. We're just going to kind of bounce off of each other when it comes to breaking some of this stuff down.
I read the little, my Bible is a study Bible, so it has a little intro page before every book. So I read through that since we were going to cover the whole book this week. And one thing that probably everybody knows, it says that Paul wrote this from prison, but actually he was just under house arrest, which was a little bit better than prison, and I've never felt more under house arrest than I do right now. So
let's identify with Paul.
This is perfect. But he, basically, he was sent to prison because of he was spreading the gospel, and they didn't like that. But normally prisoners would have been held in an isolated dungeon, but because Paul was a Roman citizen, he had appealed to Caesar himself. So he sort of had some clout before. And so that way he was just under house arrest, and he could even write letters and receive visitors and gifts during this particular time that he wrote Philippians.
That's really neat. That's
so
really
it's
good.
just neat. I mean, basically, here we are.
Here we go.
We can receive gifts, not even visitors.
Not even visitors. But we have
and we can write
Paul's
letters
letter
to each
the
other.
Philippians. Let's write some letters. Good word, Chante. I like that.
I just thought it was neat.
That's really neat. Speaks to us today. Philippians chapter 1. First thing that stood out to me in verse 3 is, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you. Chante.
Oh, sweet. I thought you were going to say Lake Point.
They're coming next, Lake Point. For real, that's a great verse. If you're ever looking for a verse to write at the bottom of a card to somebody that you actually like, that's Philippians 1:3. Jot that one down there. They're like, what does that look?
Not
or Google it.
You don't
and
like,
it says, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you. That's good stuff.
It is a sweet thing to think.
It is
a sweet thing to say if you mean it too.
And you figure, like you said, he's writing this from house arrest. He hadn't seen a lot of people in a while, so he's saying, man, I hope we all have somebody, or at least a few people in our lives that are like that. We're like, oh, I thank the Lord for this person or this group of people.
We sort of said this yesterday. This is a great time to get out a card and send a card that says just something like this. I thought of you. I'm thankful for you in my life.
Yep.
Man, I didn't realize how much I missed these little interactions that we have until now we can't have them. And so this is a great time to do that.
Absolutely.
I think all the people that you see just in the course of the day, normally, that you aren't seeing.
That you aren't seeing. And thank the Lord for them. For real. I think that's a healthy thing to do during the day. Now some of us are in grocery stores, cousin Jennifer, in like plumbers like James, Susan's husband James, working 12-hour days. It's crazy stuff, or nurses or doctors. But for a lot of folks that are home, regardless of where we are, that's a positive encouragement, is to build that, make it a habit almost, and it doesn't start easy, y'all. But if you think about things that bring you joy, and occasionally think about people that bring you joy, say a prayer for them when you think about them. Say, man, Lord, I thank you for that. I've started doing that in the last couple of years with each of my kids. During the day, I'll think about something, not going to lie. Usually it's because there's like a spilled chocolate milk stain in the car or something fun there. Your first thought can be...
There is a spilled chocolate milk stain in the car.
You know what I mean? But I try to put a spin on that one and go, Lord, I thank you. Thank you for that.
There's a spilled chocolate milk stain on the ceiling of my car from... beach vacation like 2017. It's
Dude,
been
that
there
was
forever.
rough. That whole thing spilled.
Caroline had her little chocolate milk from McDonald's.
Y'all, it was so bad.
I don't even know, and it just sloshed up and hit the ceiling.
And we parked in the parking deck that has like 197% humidity
for the week.
We
were driving to the beach,
and
I don't know how she did it. It was like she thought we were going to hit a bump, and there were no bumps.
It was smooth.
Bumped, and the entire contents of that chocolate milk shot onto the ceiling and then rained back down onto her and all
crazy.
The luggage that we had around her.
Covered in chocolate
stain,
milk.
To this day, I cannot get out of the ceiling.
You know what she does when she sees it? She thanks the Lord in all remembrance of that little girl. Because they're not going to spill their chocolate milk forever. I know, everybody's going to message on
Everybody says.
I get it. But you also look forward to having a car with that chocolate milk on the ceiling. I'm not going to lie.
This morning, twice.
Maybe that's selfish. We'll see what happens.
Twice.
Thank the Lord.
They spilled it twice in one.
Kids are kids.
Continue.
Crazy. All right, my next thing. Do you have one you want to learn?
Well, that verse just sort of goes on. Yeah, I was about to say to 5 and 6. It kind of keeps going. For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of...
Any of my Haven Fellowship people in here? Our last church.
I know what Haven Fellowship
Do you remember that? Since we're on the song train. He who
began a good work in
you.
Please don't. Please don't sing every night.
We'll be faithful to complete it. Thanks, Rob Mason.
Do y'all see what I'm quarantined with?
We'll be faithful.
Do you see this that he's singing?
Hannah, you know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, Sonny.
No, please sing more.
No, I just wanted to share that thought. She's being sarcastic.
No, I just think it's a sweet. It's just a continuation of, if you really read what he's actually saying. He's thankful for the fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now.
That is good.
And that he knows that what God has started in them, he will complete it until the day. Please don't sing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Hannah. Thanks.
It's just a sweet thing to say to a church that you started. So we would say it to you guys in this situation if we were writing you a letter.
I would sing you a song, but not anymore. No, that's actually
very
true.
cool.
I agree.
He's saying that I think that what we've
fellowship with each other.
What we started from the very beginning was good, and I know that God's going to make it good. And
I'm going to continue that.
Exactly what I would say to all of you right now.
Yep.
I know that we've started something good, and God's going to keep it going, and it's going to be.
Why are you skating in the grass?
Great. Danny is shooing our child.
Dustin is singing.
That's sweet.
Loud and clear. Dustin?
I can't.
I like you more and more every day. All right.
He's being completely genuine right now, and he will probably sing with you if you encourage him.
Y'all sing together.
Oh, that is sweet, Hannah, but it was not planned.
And it wasn't
He
planned.
knows that if he had asked me, I would have said no.
That's why I don't ask her some things. Do you want to have kids? Don't ask her that question. It's different.
It's a different conversation. Annie is delusional tonight. I don't know what. So then the next note that I have. Oh my goodness. Can you pull yourself together? I can't. We're cracking ourselves.
Go ahead. I can't do it.
Okay. I don't even know. Okay.
Oh, man.
Now I'm crying. Thank you all for coming to watch us live.
Wouldn't that be something, though? Like, what if when you have kids, the guy gets the girl and girl go, hey, guess what? We're pregnant.
It's not even that funny. I don't know. I'm laughing so hard. I'm just delusional. I'm sorry. It's making me cry. Now I can't even read my Bible. I'm glad you guys are tuning in to watch us laugh at ourselves.
All right.
So entertaining.
Okay, the next verse I had is in verse 18.
Go.
And it's 18. So good. He's talking about how the gospel is preached, which is fun because he's saying, like some people are preaching the gospel out of really good things. Like they're actually doing it to spread the good news of Jesus. He also touches, I'm going to read some of these. You're funny. You were just too much. You're good. Belly laugh. We all need this. Oh, Marshall, there he is. You understand?
Yeah,
your face is red. It's so red. And it's not because of this wine glass with coffee in it. See that coffee in there? Oh, heavens. It's refreshing. I'm refreshed.
Goodness. Well.
2 reasons I'm refreshed. 1, that was good. 2, and this is way TMI. We're just going to get personal, okay?
Danny, please.
I ran out of deodorant yesterday.
Control yourself.
So I wore Chante's deodorant today.
So you're
wearing It was the little
women's...
stick, speed stick.
The one I got at the race.
Y'all, that stuff is
he's
legitimate.
Wearing women's deodorant and drinking out of a hummingbird wine decanter.
Cautious.
That's sweet.
Don't worry. You can not worry about it. All right, anyway. So it says, he has great in verse 16 and 17. He's talking about there are 2 types of people that share the good news of Jesus. He says one shares the good news of Jesus because God said to do it, and he's being like Jesus. He actually touches on this, which I love about Paul. He doesn't shy around in the fact that there are some preachers or teachers or leaders that aren't that good. But I love how he says that regardless of whether or not some people are doing things out of the wrong motives, as long as Christ is being preached, as long as Jesus is being lifted up, he says, what then? Christ is proclaimed. I love that.
People are saying you need to get out more. What is in that coffee?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
Bill
goodness,
wears
Danny.
secret. I understand, Bill. I understand. That's all I got. Good.
No, I think it's good. He talks about, right before that, he talks about how he's in prison, and even the guards in the prison are becoming Christians around him, or I guess in the house arrest situation. He's guarded in some capacity, and some of the people even around him. And so Paul is really always very good about bringing it around to how is this situation glorifying to God. Yeah. And so that's something we can be asking ourselves too. How can this very strange situation that we're all in be used to spread the gospel? How can it be used to glorify God?
Yep. Who is around us? Just take us up. Okay, up, and then bring us right back. Well, not back down. Well, one of my favorite Kenny Bond memories. Okay, and I know. Is it? Can I not?
You can do it.
I'm so sorry. I know. I'm all over the place tonight. How many different nurses I would meet that would tell me when I would go and visit Kenny at different times on my way in or out of the room how much that man had ministered to them that day. Yeah. I don't think many of them were even Christians or even went to church. 2 or 3 of the nurses over the years even said, why is he so kind? I always remember that question. One lady, in a very hard time, she grabbed me on the way out the door. She came to me and said, why is he so kind to me? And I got to tell her as simply as I could. I said, oh, he loves you. And he loves God and believes that God loves you. How beautiful. So I think like when we're saying those things, it's just so good, to know that whatever situation we're in, which is It's a mindset. It's like a paradigm shift or a mental thinking. Because we can get up, and they all know this, like maybe that's why I'm laughing hysterically sometimes. We can get up occasionally, especially in times like this, and go, well, this is another day, you know? Or I think the Lord encourages us to say, no, put on a new attitude. Let me renew your mind and renew your thinking, so that even the prison guards, when you're falsely in prison like Paul was, might come to know Jesus because of it. And anyway, that's just good stuff. So we'll preach another sermon on that one later. All right, you got another verse?
Next for me was 21, and you too. He goes on, Paul goes on, and it says that being bold, so that now Christ will be magnified in my body, whether by life or death. So he's saying at this point, he's either going to live
and might be the end. Yeah.
proceed through in this house arrest and stay with his church people and work with them and encourage them, or he's going to go on to be with God. Yeah. And he's saying clearly, it would be better if I could just go on to heaven and be with God. But I know that I have work here to do. So in Paul's mind, he's got this very perfect kingdom-minded mindset, and that's how he prefaces every single thing that he does. And so then he says in verse 21, for to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. So everything that he is thinking in his life this moment is benefiting the kingdom and benefiting spreading the gospel of Christ. And then in his mind, when he's done with that, then he'll go to heaven.
Yep.
And so he's just writing this to his church family, that if he lives, that means free from my labor. But then, for I'm hard pressed between the two, having desire to depart and be with Christ, which is far better. So he's just clearly got that perspective of everything. Like you said, it's a paradigm shift, and it's one that I think is hard to keep all the time. We get really distracted by things that matter to us today, right now. And Paul didn't have that problem.
Paul didn't have that problem. And if y'all don't know, anybody that might be watching, you know, you think like this guy Paul, he's a saint. You know, he's got basilicas and churches named after him. He was not a good guy before he met Jesus. Like, he actually was a very terrible, terrible man. He was in charge of finding Christians and putting Christians in prison or worse. He actually was over the stoning of Stephen when they killed a guy named Stephen because Stephen was telling other people about Jesus. So Paul was living a life before Jesus that was nothing like Jesus, nothing like God's love or God's grace, nothing like that. And yet he had an encounter. It's a cool story. He's on the road to a place called Damascus, and he has an encounter with Jesus himself, and it radically changes his life. One of those like 180, like he was going this way, you turn around. So I think that when he, like you see that, like when he writes things like that, that's pretty big, because he's saying here, man, I can't wait to meet him. You know, like whenever that happens, it's going to be great. Another thing to point out, and don't get me wrong, like we are all called to have that mentality. Paul was also single. I just like to point this out, and he had no children. I mean, just saying. So,
you know,
I'm just
being honest. They'll mess you up.
Give you a hummingbird. I get my own hummingbird cup. But knowing that when they didn't wear deodorant. Anyway, when he was able to say, I'm just ready to go into glory. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I think God wants all of us to be prepared for heaven. He wants all of us to be prepared to meet him and anticipate it. Scripture says we are to anticipate the meeting of him. Selfishly, I hope, unless Jesus comes back today, which he could, clearly, I'm hoping I get to watch my kids grow up. You know, like I'm just saying, like as a dad, I want to watch them grow up and be in their weddings and all that kind of stuff. But I love that. For me, is to live is Christ. So he's saying, whatever I do. Comment soon. I love how he says some are spreading the gospel for jealousy or competition, which isn't good. That's right. But we are. I would push to see more, but it's still good. That's right. He's saying, but it's still, Jesus is still being proclaimed. It's still solid.
I think that's been true since Paul. I mean, I think that there have always been people who are preaching for one agenda or another, and maybe not always good, but it does come around to be used for the good.
That's right. It comes around to being used for the good.
Still, the gospel is being preached, so that's really the end-all goal, but hopefully out of good motivation.
Hopefully out of good. And just check this out. Just think about this for a second. Brian just jumped on here. My man Brian Key. Brian's got two good-looking sons now. Owen, Brian, we're praying for you. We lifted that up earlier. We're going to remind everybody this is Brian on here. If you don't know him, you can comment below his little comment there. And Jonathan Hall commented on here, which to me it just works out perfectly. We have two guys for very different reasons, but in the hospital right now, in Rockdale and in Atlanta, and both are joining in on a Bible study. So it kind of all fits in together. We're like, you know what? Wherever we are, whoever we are around, we're going to trust in Jesus, and we're going to lift him up where we are. That's good stuff right there.
Then Paul goes on and talks about, I read earlier in my Bible too, it said that joy is the overarching theme for this book of the Bible, and then unity and humility are the next two themes. And this next paragraph really talks about unity. And so if you've ever been in ministry or gone to church with other people in any capacity, you know that that's not always something that comes naturally to any group of people, is unity. Unity can be a tricky thing. Right now, as we're saying this, our three kids are about to fight about. Caroline took the bucket. They're not sharing the bucket.
I know it. All right, we got to finish. This is getting late.
Exhibit A. Danny's my timekeeper. 7:34. We're almost done.
The last thing I had is right underneath that, which is a beautiful verse. I just love it. 127. Only conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. Only conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. So that when I come and see you, be absent. He's going to hear about all that you're doing, so that we will have one mind. I love that idea that we are called as Christians to conduct ourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel, worthy of what Jesus has done for us. And there's two ways we can go on that. You can be in a camp where you're saying, you know what, Jesus is going to forgive me for whatever I'm about to do anyway. That's not a manner worthy of the gospel. That's not grasping it. A manner worthy of the gospel is more of a mindset of saying, Lord, I know what you did for me on the cross, and I am so indebted to you and so grateful for you doing that. I'm going to choose to do this and to not do this. That's a manner worthy of it.
Yeah, and so when he's writing to his church, he's just saying, I want you guys to be of one mind and of one, striving together for the faith of the gospel, that we would not be terrified by our adversaries, but that you of salvation that's from God. So he's basically writing to this body of believers that he helped to start. He started a church, and now he's sending out these letters to them. And the one thing he's saying is, y'all get along.
Right. Where is that? What
27. About your 27 and 28.
Look at the next part of that. In no way alarmed by your opponents dash, which is a sign of their destruction. Paul's like, he doesn't play. I love it.
So anyway, it's just really, I always really love to see these letters from Paul to a congregation, because we have that relationship in our lives with all of you, and nothing makes us happier than knowing that we're all going to come out of this and work together in one unified goal of sharing the gospel, and I know we will. So it's just encouraging to see Paul writing that.
Very, very encouraging. Continue to pray for one another. Continue to pray for Brian and Melinda and baby Owen in the surgery. 7:30 Thursday morning, heart surgery for baby Owen. And Jonathan Hall, 12 noon on Thursday, having surgery down at Rockdale, and each other. I'm thankful for y'all. Last night, it was so neat to me. As soon as we finished this, I had 3 different people contact within minutes, asking about making masks to get to Susan Beecham. And headbands. It was amazing. I mean, really, really neat. So we got a lot of folks on here that love each other well and are willing to love people you might not even know that well, very well. So I'm thankful for that one. 29, not be intimidated.
It's verse 29, not to be intimidated, to show that you are saved.
That's right.
Just boldness.
Just be bold in that faith. That's right. Knowing that he's done it, and we're going to declare it. And I love that.
Michelle said, I know those Nathaniel growls. Yes, as we're speaking about being unified, our kids are fighting and growling at each other.
Yes.
But,
Can you read those
yes, Michelle Taylor's Aunt Faye, she's starting breast cancer treatments this Thursday. We'll definitely pray. This Thursday is a big day for prayer.
This Thursday is a big day for a lot of folks.
If you are a prayer, mark your calendar for Thursday. We've got a lot going on.
Susan's on there, all the way from New York, and Jennifer up there. So we're thankful.
Mama says thank you for those masks.
Miss Debbie. One of the first ones to hold my babies when they were in the nursery back in the day. And David Hurst is here. Now it is complete. All is well.
Good timing,
I have so many songs I could sing right now, but someone next to me has encouraged me not to do that.
I think we need a separate
We need to sing an hour.
Separate time. You
I don't
can
want to
do
give
it
any spoilers, but somebody sitting on this porch can now play G, C, and D on the guitar in very slow strum motion.
Some of us have been doing that since we were little, so you're the one you're talking about. 2 of us can.
Did you see what happened there?
I'm so proud of you playing those chords on the guitar.
Just faking it. Congratulations on your job.
Thank you. I'm excited. It's going to be a good night. We miss singing too. We miss singing with you, Michelle. We miss all of you. All the things.
It's going to be coming.
Tomorrow is
hang in there, Michelle. That's right.
2. We will see you guys tomorrow night.
Philippians chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
And We will see you guys tomorrow, and I'm thankful for you. Let us know if we can do anything for you. Holla back. Bye.